Welcome to the Whispers of the Unknown, where dark secrets come to life. The November 23rd, 1996 hijacking of Ethiopian Airlines Flight 961 is frequently cited as the most chaotic hijack in history. Fuel shortages, hostile hijackers, and the crew's last-ditch effort to save the passengers all contributed to this spectacular incident. The hijacking culminated in a tragic crash into the Indian Ocean, resulting in significant loss of life. Here are 7 key points summarizing the incident. Before continuing this video, please subscribe to our channel Whispers of the Unknown and hit the bell icon. Number 7. Date and incident. Ethiopian Airlines. Flight 961 was hijacked on November 23, 1996, marking one of the most dramatic and tragic incidents in aviation history. The plane involved was a Boeing 767-260ER, registration ET-AIZ, which departed from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, bound for Nairobi, Kenya, with a final destination of Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. The flight was routine until it was hijacked by 3 Ethiopians shortly after takeoff from Addis Ababa. The hijackers were described as young and inexperienced, which significantly contributed to the chaotic nature of the incident. Their lack of understanding of aviation and their intoxicated state made them unpredictable and dangerous, setting the stage for a series of events that would culminate in tragedy. The hijackers' actions were erratic, and their demands were unrealistic, reflecting their lack of knowledge about the capabilities of the aircraft. Number 6. Hijackers' demands. The hijackers demanded that the plane fly to Australia, a destination that was utterly impossible to reach given the aircraft's fuel capacity. This demand was not only unrealistic, but also dangerous, as the plane did not have enough fuel to cover even a fraction of the distance to Australia. The hijackers were reportedly under the influence of alcohol, which further clouded their judgment and made them less receptive to reason. They were not aware of the plane's limitations, and their ignorance added to the chaos and unpredictability of the situation. Despite the impossibility of their demand, the hijackers insisted that the pilot comply, threatening violence if their wishes were not met. This created a tense standoff between the hijackers and the flight crew, with the lives of all passengers hanging in the balance. The hijackers' insistence on flying to Australia was a critical factor in the crisis, as it meant that the plane could not be safely landed at any nearby airport. Number 5. Pilot's efforts. The pilot, Lil Abate, made significant efforts to reason with the hijackers and explain the impossibility of reaching Australia due to the fuel constraints. He attempted to persuade them to choose a closer destination where the plane could safely land, hoping to find a peaceful resolution to the crisis. However, the hijackers were unyielding and refused to listen to the pilot's warnings. They were adamant that their demands be met, even if it meant risking the lives of everyone on board. The pilot's attempts to negotiate were crucial in trying to find a way out of the situation without resorting to extreme measures. He used his experience and knowledge to try and calm the hijackers, but their stubbornness and lack of understanding made it difficult to find a common ground. The pilot's efforts were not limited to negotiating with the hijackers. He also worked to keep the passengers safe and informed throughout the ordeal. Number 4. Fuel crisis. As the hijacking continued, the fuel crisis became increasingly dire. The plane did not have enough fuel to reach any major airport safely, and the hijackers' refusal to listen to the pilot's warnings about the fuel situation exacerbated the danger. Despite the critical nature of the situation, the hijackers remained resolute in their demands, ignoring the reality of the plane's fuel capacity. This refusal to acknowledge the fuel crisis led to a desperate situation where the pilot had to consider extreme measures to save lives. The fuel level was dropping rapidly, and the pilot knew that time was running out. He had to balance the need to keep the hijackers calm with the urgent need to find a safe place to land before the fuel ran out completely. The fuel crisis was compounded by the hijackers' insistence on flying to distant locations, which further depleted the fuel reserves. The pilot had to carefully manage the remaining fuel, trying to stretch it as far as possible while still maintaining control of the aircraft. Number 3. Ditching in the ocean. After circling the Comoros Islands in an attempt to find a suitable place to land, the plane finally ran out of fuel. In a last-ditch effort to save as many lives as possible, the pilot decided to ditch the plane into the Indian Ocean. This decision was made with the hope that the impact would be survivable and that rescue teams could reach the survivors quickly. The ditching was a heroic act by the pilot, who managed to control the plane's descent and impact to minimize casualties. The pilot's skill and experience were crucial in this moment, as he had to navigate the plane to a shallow area of the ocean to increase the chances of survival. The ditching was a dramatic and intense moment, with the plane hitting the water at a speed that was just slow enough to allow many passengers to survive the impact. The decision to ditch the plane was not taken lightly, as it involved significant risks. However, given the circumstances, it was the best option available to save lives. Number 2. Casualties. Of the 175 people on board Ethiopian Airlines Flight 961, 125 survived the crash. The high survival rate was largely due to the pilot's skillful handling of the plane during the ditching process. The fact that the plane was ditched in shallow waters near the Comoros Islands also contributed to the number of survivors, as rescue teams were able to reach the site quickly. Despite the tragic loss of life, the survival rate was considered a miracle given the circumstances. The survivors faced significant challenges in the aftermath, including injuries and the psychological trauma of the event. However, the heroism of the pilot and the resilience of the passengers and crews were widely recognized, serving as a testament to human courage in the face of extreme adversity. The casualties were a stark reminder of the risks involved in hijacking situations and the importance of effective crisis management. The incident highlighted the need for robust safety protocols and emergency response plans to minimize the impact of such events. Number 1. Aftermath. The aftermath of the hijacking highlighted the risks and complexities associated with such incidents. It underscored the importance of effective communication, crisis management, and security protocols in preventing and responding to hijackings. The incident also raised questions about the psychological and social factors that drive individuals to commit such acts, emphasizing the need for a comprehensive approach to aviation security that includes both physical measures and psychological assessments. The heroic actions of the pilot and the resilience of the survivors served as a testament to human courage in the face of extreme adversity. The incident led to a reevaluation of security procedures and emergency response plans, with airlines and governments around the world taking steps to improve their preparedness for such crises. In conclusion, the hijacking of Ethiopian Airlines Flight 961 stands as one of the most chaotic and tragic incidents in aviation history. Thanks for watching our video, and don't forget to subscribe.